Hello. So let's continue. Last video I talked about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I've mentioned that I want to share how we can relate this concept with Mr. David Hawkins' book From the Power versus Force, where he mentioned the map of consciousness. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, and then I will try to bring some examples of how we can relate these two concepts. So what is the map of consciousness? I think in the most simplest ways that I try to explain is it's the general overall viewpoint of one person of how they see their world. So there are different levels. If let's say someone their overall viewpoint in life or how they embody their everyday living is what he calls the lowest level. So there's different numbers. So the lowest level number is at 20. He explains that the level is called shame. So the overall life view for being at the shame level is miserable. So you think everything that happens to you is miserable, extremely bad, and the emotions and that you constantly receives or feel is humiliations and things like that. And as you rise up a few levels, it could be your overall viewpoint in life is grief, which you think everything is tragic, everything is so. If for example he ranks this map of consciousness in different levels, sometimes even a few levels above at a certain point, you still feel pretty life depriving. So he categorizes that. And then after grief, there's like fear, like in overall, if your viewpoint in life is occupied by fearing this, fearing your health, fearing your society, fearing your family, etc., that is still not life supporting. But it's not as bad as a much lower level such as shame. So I hope you're kind of getting the concept of what he's trying to explain. It's a very simple yet complex concept, which I find this kind of things interesting. So at a more critical level, so he mentions that at the point of level 200 is what he considers as, it's called courage at 200 point. Is where is the change of one's viewpoint from life depriving. Anything under 200, which is under the courage level, is life depriving. Anything that's above courage, above 200 points, is called life supporting. So to make it easy to understand, I think for everyone to understand, he comes up with this map of consciousness. So let me just go straight to the top. Okay, the highest he thinks is called enlightenment. So it's just your overall viewpoint in life is being enlightened. So some example that he uses is of course from a lot of spiritual teachings, the original intention of, let's say, from Christianity, there are Jesus, which is enlightenment, or from Buddhism, the Buddha, or it doesn't have to be like a being. He explained it could be certain type of scriptures or materials that teach us of that embody a lot of life supporting viewpoints. I think he mentioned, for example, part of the Declaration of Independence. There are segments in that Declaration of Independence is very life supporting, etc., etc. So there are different ideas that he uses that we can categorize as overall different level of consciousness. Maybe I'll bring a little bit down from enlightenment because it's kind of out of reach. But let's say courage. I want to mention courage again, which is the critical point at 200. Courage means that when you are, it's like a switch point where you no longer see your life, or you no longer want to consumed by all the negativity in how you live your everyday life. is the point that when you have the courage to change, that's how I understand it. When you start to embody your daily activities with courage, maybe something that is not working well for you, either your health, your family, your job, etc. If you're preoccupied by a lot of those life depriving consciousness level, but once you hit the point of courage, meaning that your overall viewpoint in life is filled with courage, that's the point of change that he mentions. And today I think I'm running out of time, but this is where I want to stop, and I will continue to record more of my humble personal opinions that I hope to inspire many of you who dedicated your few minutes of your time today to listen to what I'm saying. So I will continue on in part 3. Thank you very much.